Hello everyone, this is Aman Kitkar from Gurnanak Dev University and a legal intern at Lexis and Company. So today we're going to talk about law of evidence. So we're just going to cover the types of evidences in this. So first of all, the law of evidence, which is also known as the rules of evidence, encompasses the rules and legal principles that govern the proof of facts in a legal proceeding. So these rules somewhat determine what evidence must or must not be considered by the trier of fact in reaching its decisions. So evidence is relevant if it is logically goes to proving or disproving some of the facts at issue in the prosecution. So it is admissible if it relates to the fact in issue or to circumstances that make those facts probable or improbable and has been properly obtained. So it consists of all the statements which the court permits or requires to be made before it by witnesses in relation to matters of fact under the inquiry, and such statements are called oral evidences. And or we can say all documents including electronic reports produced for the inspection of the court, such documents are called documentary evidences. So then comes the four types of evidences, that is there are different types of evidences considered as trial, and they don't all carry the same weightage or the same importance. Their importance differs from each other, so it is up to the jury to listen to the evidence and weigh the information according to the circumstances of the case. So first of all, there comes the real evidence. So real evidence is also known as physical evidence and includes fingerprints, bullet casings, a knife, DNA samples, etc. So things that a jury can see and touch are considered as real evidences. So real evidence usually proves or disproves facts in the case. To be admitted, real evidence must be relevant, material and authentic. So lawyers must establish that the evidence belonged to the accused or was used in the crime which is about which the case is. So second comes the demonstrative evidence. So here the demonstrative evidence can help illustrate or demonstrate the testimony of a witness. It can include a map of the crime scene or charts or images and pictures of the location that a witness describes. So the demonstrative evidence needs to reflect the witness's description accurately. It must not be contrary to the description which has been provided by the witness, and it should be in relation to the same description. So then comes the documentary evidence. So in this, documentary evidence is the evidence which is introduced through documents instead of through oral witness accounts, such as a diary entry or we can say newspaper or contract. With documentary evidence, it is essential to establish that the document is authentic and from a reliable source. If the source is not reliable, or we can say source is not authentic, then that documents that document need to be verified by the witness or the person who is producing that document, and the accuracy of that document must be valid one. So then comes the witness testimony. So in this, the testimonial evidence is when a witness gets on the stand and says what they saw or heard under the oath. So in this case, the witness needs to state what he saw or what he heard, and he must be accurate, or he must be confident enough to say what he saw or what he wants to say about that, and it is provided under the oath only. So then comes the circumstantial evidence. So circumstantial evidence doesn't directly prove a fact in a case, but it leads the jury to interfere or infer information about the fact based on the evidence. So it basically produces a chain of series according to which jury can determine whether the evidence is a valid one or not. So this is also known as indirect evidence. It is indirectly producing the fact in issue. It must be related to fact in issue of the case. Then there comes the hearsay evidence. So hearsay is an out of court statement or the non-verbal statement relayed by a witness that can't be proven because the statements were not taken under oath and the speaker in this case is not present to be cross-examined. So we can say that hearsay evidence is generally not admissible in the court unless proven to a judge that the information is necessary and reliable. So the source of the hearsay evidence must be provided, so that from where he has heard such statements or where he had heard such thing. So then comes the probative and the prejudicial evidence. So for evidence to be admissible, it must prove or disprove the facts in the case, and that conclude the probative value, and this must carry more weight than the evidence's prejudicial value. Prejudicial evidence is when there is a significant risk of the misuse of the information by the jury, or the evidence is too misleading, confusing, or distracting. So this was all about types of evidences. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, put a thumbs up on this video, and also don't forget to like and subscribe the channel next click. And this does not solicit any promotion or advertisement as per the guidelines of the Bar Council of India, and it is for education purpose only.